Someone wrote, I was born to Hindu parents in a Bareilly hospital set up by a Christian missionary on land gifted to her by a Muslim prince. It makes me think that we are made up of each other. Hello, sixth graders. Welcome to a nation that is too diverse in most of its aspects that the architects of our nation had to make a strong center to keep the overwhelmingly diverse nation together. Today, we would understand about the diversity of our nation through the online session organized by your school, KDPS, on the first chapter of Social and Political Life, which is Unity in Diversity. Let me begin by asking you a question. Is there anyone in your classroom who looks exactly like you do? Or is there anyone who has the same kind of interests and dreams like yours? Even the native languages that you speak might be different, right? Our culture and religious backgrounds would be different. Each one of us differ in many ways, and it is these differences that enrich our lives. We get to learn and understand about so many different cultures. You might have tried different kinds of food at your friend's house, celebrated different festivals, tried some of the clothes they wear, and even learned some of their languages. India is a nation with so much diversity with respect to customs, languages, religions, dresses, and food habits. But how did this diversity and mixed cultures happen? A little more than 200 years ago, or long before the train, aeroplane, bus, or car became part of our lives, people traveled from one part of the world to another in ships, on horses, on camels, or on foot. Often they went in search of new places to settle in or for people to trade with due to famines or drought, for work or due to war. And because it took so long to travel, people might get to a place and stay there for a long time. As they began to make their homes in new places, people began to change little while retaining a part of what they used to do earlier. Thus, their language, food, music, religions became a mix of the old and the new. And through this intermixing of cultures came something new and different. The history of a place shows us how different cultural influences have helped to shape life and culture there. Similarly, diversity also comes about when people adapt their lives to the geographical area in which they live. For example, those living near the sea are quite different from those living in a mountainous area. इन्हीं बातों को थोड़ा और ध्यान से समझने के लिए और बारीकी से समझने के लिए अब हम देखेंगे कि लद्दाख और केरला में लोगों की ज़िंदगी कैसी है, क्या एक जैसी बातें हैं और क्या फ़र्क है उनकी ज़िंदगी में. Hey, if you find gompas, that is Buddhist monasteries, perched on amazing cliffs, and thupka, that is noodle soup, isiku, that is pasta and root vegetables, and nagampe, that is roasted barley flour on the menu, then you are in Ladakh. It is a desert in the mountains of eastern part of Jammu and Kashmir. Very little agriculture is possible here, since this region does not receive any rain and is covered in snow for a large part of the year. There are very few trees that can grow in the region. For drinking water, people need to depend on the melting snow during summers. People here keep sheep and goat. The sheep in this region are special because they produce pashmina wool, which costs a lot of money. The people eat meat and milk products like cheese and butter, since products made from the fresh milk are important. Each family owns some goats, cows, and yak cows. In spite of being in desert, Ladakh attracted its share of traders. It was considered as a good route as it had many passes through which caravans traveled to Tibet region. These caravans carried textiles, spices, raw silk, and carpets. Buddhism reached Tibet via Ladakh. Stories based on the life of Buddha are the main themes of the traditional theatre of Ladakh. Islam was introduced in this region more than 400 years ago. Do you know, Ladakh has a very rich oral tradition of songs and poems. As mentioned earlier, Ladakh is also known for its Gompa or a monastery, which is a complex of temples and prayer halls. Gompas are an important part of the lives of people, and they serve as places of worship, meditation, and schools. Now let's take a look at another state located down south in India, that is Kerala. The Vemba Lake in Kerala is the longest saltwater lake in the state and the longest lake in India. The lake buzzes with action and color during Onam, Kerala's New Year, when the exciting snake boat race is held and long boats manned by 100 oarsmen compete against one another. Kerala is the state in the northwest corner of India. It is surrounded by the Arabian Sea on one side and Western Ghat on the other. It is a land of coconut trees, and a number of spices like pepper, cloves, and cardamoms are there. It is spices that made this region an attractive place for traders. Jewish and Arab traders were the first to come here and settle here. The Portuguese discovered the sea route to India from Europe when Vasco da Gama landed with his ship here. The apostle of Christ, St. Thomas, is believed to have come here nearly 2000 years ago and is credited to have brought Christianity to India. Due to such historical influences, we can see people who follow different religions in Kerala: Hinduism, Judaism, Islam, Christianity, and Buddhism. The fertile land and climate are suited to growing rice, and a majority of people here eat rice, fish, and vegetables. The fishing nets used here look exactly like the Chinese fishing nets and are called chinnavala, and the utensil used for cooking fish is called chinna chatti. It is believed that the word chin could have come from China. While Kerala and Ladakh are quite different in terms of their geographical features, as you have seen that one is in the northern part and another is in the southern part of India, the history of both regions have seen similar cultural influences of Chinese and Arab traders. While the geography of Kerala allowed for the cultivation of spices, the geographical location of Ladakh and its wool drew traders to these regions. The influence of diverse cultures is not merely a thing of the past. It is happening in our day-to-day lives when we, I and you, travel to different places. We hear stories and see different customs and traditions, and we adapt them. Sometimes we know that we are adapting them, and sometimes we are unaware about it. Indian Constitution recognizes the right for everyone to practice any religion and develop our own languages and cultures. In spite of all our differences, children, we all are one. I repeat, we all are one.